Behind me is the fastest cars and coffee Behind me is the fastest cars and coffee build we have ever done. Hi, this is Steve with Caliber Customs. I'm here with Ramsey and his 1994 LS swapped BMW E36. Ramsey, please tell us more about this build.
Started off as a 318 4-cylinder as a roller. You guys ended up doing the LS swap build on here. Now has a LSA built block with a Vortex supercharger on it, and it's making about 760 wheel horsepower on low boost.
Low boost?
Low boost, yeah.
You gonna turn it up one day?
Sooner or later, yeah.
So this car makes upwards over 700 horsepower, and you go out for a 20-minute session?
Yep.
And you just beat the hell out of it.
Have fun with it.
And no issues.
No issues.
No overheating, no nothing.
No.
That's amazing.
So it keeps the temps cool and everything else.
And I imagine with being able to be out on a track for that long, then you can really get used to the car quickly, unlike some full-blown race car.
Yeah, so that's the main reason I wanted to get this car, was for the reason of being able to go and have fun with track days and actually
not
go out
be
there.
limited or need like a full crew to run it.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, now that we've gotten all the details, I want to get this hood off and I want to see what we got underneath there as far as power and power adder.
Okay, let's check it out.
As some of you guys may know, on an LS water pump, it has a heater circuit. Well, we decided instead of just blocking it off or bypassing it like a lot of people do, we're gonna have that run to an extra little radiator. So now it's got a main radiator and fan, and then it has another radiator that runs off of the heater circuit. And in the front, we said, you know what? We want to be able to beat on this thing for 20 minutes at a time, no problem. So we made the largest air-to-air cooler we could fit in there. So we got the biggest core, we made the intakes, so it has an inlet on the bottom and an outlet on top. And the benefit of doing that is at the track, at full beating on it for 20 minutes straight, our temperatures, intake air temps, never go above 10 degrees over ambient. So if it's an 80-degree day, it's 90 degrees. So getting into the heart of this thing, we decided to go with a brand new LSA block. So it has a standard bore. We could do the minimum piston to wall clearance, so we have as much meat in there as possible. We went with a stock GM crank because we know those are good to 1,000 horsepower easily. So this one we put at 9.5 to 1, so we have the capabilities of turning it up quite a bit, being a centrifugal. We went with AFR heads, LS3 based, because we love AFR. For the oiling system, we went with a daily dry sump. So we got their pan, their pump. Those work great. We love those. They keep our oil in check. We don't have any scavenging problems. We don't have any oil feed problems. And as you can see right here, what we have to do being a dry sump is we have to seal that system. And so it doesn't create too much crankcase vacuum, we actually have a breather here that you can adjust. So we monitor the crankcase vacuum and pressure, and then we're able to adjust this so it doesn't create too much crankcase vacuum. And then on this side, we actually have a valve in here that will let it blow off if it needs to, which we haven't had that issue. It's kind of a safety precaution. To get the power level we wanted, we ended up going with a Vortex race blower. It is a V7J-TB. So on this blower, we ended up actually putting the largest blower pulley we could put on there to slow that blower down to make the least amount of boost, and we still made more power than we were initially wanting to start with. So what Matt did, which was actually pretty cool in the ECU, is we did what's called a throttle clamping. So we're actually able to limit the throttle angle, and we can essentially make as much power as we want or as little power as we want. Inside there's a knob which also can help control traction control, but it also can turn the power up with just a flip of a switch, which I think is pretty cool. Injector wise, we went with ID 1300s. We wanted to make sure we had plenty of injector for our future if we wanted to turn this thing up. We didn't want to be limited on fuel system. As far as fuel pump, we have a Fuel Lab brushless pump that we can actually control. It's called pulse width modulated. So we can actually pulse that pump to only try to supply what the engine needs. So as the RPM goes up and power goes up and demand goes up, then that pump will spin faster and supply that fuel. Now that we kind of have the drivetrain established and explained, let's move into the cab, where there is a lot of cool little tricks and gadgets that we've put in here that I think you guys will enjoy. So now we're on the inside. Explain to us what we got going on here with the dash.
So we got the M-Tron system, it's all digital. You got your rev match switch, so if I want to turn it on or off, it's right there. This one's for an accessory mode.
This is that the shifter you were talking about. So this actually just bolts to the top, and it simulates having a sequential, but it does it all in the shifter?
Yep, so it does it all in the shifter. So you have your 1 up, 5 down. So first one is your first gear, and then you just keep going through the gears, pulling back every time you want to go shifting up the gears, and then downshifts. Tiltron pedal box in the car. And then you have the bias for the front and rear brakes.
So you can adjust it on the fly.
You can adjust it on the fly. And then you also have your mode selector here. So the mode selector actually allows you to go from a 500 horsepower, 620, and then a 760 horsepower range. And we can do that on the fly anytime I want. And
you
then
just flick a switch, middle of run, pass, no matter, you just boom, boom. All right, Ramsey, well, I guess that pretty much wraps up this build. I really appreciate you taking the time to come explain everything to us and how much you enjoy the car.
You guys did an amazing job on this car. I mean, especially all your other cars you guys have built. I wouldn't have trusted anybody else to actually do this.
That means a lot, thank you. All right.
All right, cool, cut.
Hey, hold on real quick. I gotta show you the best part of this entire build. Come back here. So, see this right here? When we were building this, we knew that this exhaust was gonna get hot. So we actually blocked all this off and we made these tips. So as the exhaust comes out, it creates a vacuum which pulls cool air on the outside of the tip. Keeps the body from getting hot, keeps this tip from getting hot in case you touch it. Plus, you can hide your weed in there. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Hey, thanks a lot for watching. Definitely subscribe. We're gonna start making a lot more content like this so you guys can follow along with some of the cool builds that we do here in the shop. I think that like button helps too, doesn't it? I always hear people say something about
Smash the like button and a bell or a bell or something.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the bell is, but you're supposed
Just
to do
click
that
all
too.
those things that are on there. You can beep that out.